and Sri Gauranga. गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Ravan Ravan Chandra Ravan Ravan Damodar 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 Radhe हरिनाम संकीर्तन की ग्रंथराज की श्रील प्रभुपाद की समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की ताय गौर प्रेमानंदे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य बस नंबर what is the number? No, what's the bus number? I have to search my. Okay, I will search it. 745. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. I am going to speak in English today because the subject matter is a bit scientific subject today. Please repeat this verse. This is from the 7th canto, 4th chapter, text number 5. Savijitya disha sarva lokam mahasuraha devasura manushyendra gandharva garudoragan savijitya disha sarva lokam mahasuraha devasura manushyendra gandharva garudoragan. All Prabhujis together. Savijitya disha sarva lokam shatrin mahasuraha devasura manushyendra gandharva garudoragan. All Matajis together. They can see there? It is coming there? That please recite. All Matajis together. Savijitya. I think it's not coming there. I think is it coming? Any of you? Or together you can recite, all of you. Yeah, correct. So there are two more verses I will recite. Siddhacharana vidyadran Rishin pitrapatin manun Yaksharaksha pishacheshan Preta bhuta patinapi Sarvasattva patin jitva Vasham aniya vishvajit Jahar lokapalanam Sthanani saha tejasa Saha He Hiranyakashipu Vijitya conquering Dishaha the directions Sarvaha all Lokan planetary systems Cha and Trin three upper, lower and middle Mahasuraha the great demon Deva the demigods Asura demons Manushya the human beings Indra the kings Gandharva the Gandharvas Garudas Uragan the great serpents Siddha the Siddhas Charana the Charanas Vidyadran the Vidyadharas Rishin the great sages and saintly persons Pitrapatin Yamaraj and the other leaders of the Pitas Manun all the different Manus Yaksha the Yakshas Rakshaha the Rakshasas Pishacha Ishan the leaders of the Pishacha Loka Preta of the Pretas Bhuta of the Bhutas Patin the masters Api also Sarvasattva Patin masters of all the different planets Jitva conquering Vasham aniya bringing under control Vishvajit the conqueror of the whole universe Jahara usurped Lokapalana of the demigods who manage the universal affairs Sthanani the places Saha with Tejasa all their power. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Hiranyakashipu became the conqueror of the entire universe. Indeed, that great demon conquered all the planets in the three worlds, upper, middle and lower, including the planets of the human beings, the Gandharvas, Garudas, the great serpents, the Siddhas, Charanas and Vidyadras, the great saints, Yamaraj, the Manus, the Yakshas, the Rakshasas, the Pishachas, and their masters, and the masters of the ghosts and bhutas, he defeated the rulers of all the other planets where there are living entities and brought them under his control. Conquering the abodes of all, he seized their power and influence. Purport. The word Garuda in this verse indicates that there are planets of great birds like Garuda. Similarly, the word Viraga indicates that there are planets of enormous serpents. Such a description of the various planets of the universe may challenge modern scientists who think that all the planets but this earth are vacant. These scientists claim to have launched excursions to the moon, where they have found no living entities but only big craters full of dust and stone, although in fact the moon is so brilliant that it acts like the sun in illuminating the entire universe. Of course, it is not possible to convince modern scientists of the Vedic information about the universe. Nonetheless, we are not very much impressed by the words of scientists who say that all the other planets are vacant and that only the earth is full of living entities.
क्लास का हिंदी अनुवाद कुटीर में हो रहा है, तो जिनको हिंदी में सुनना है कुटीर में जा सकते हैं.
But they won't see the video. They won't see. I'm going to show some video. Behind they cannot do. So, we are reading from the chapter Hiranyakashipu terrorizes the universe. There are two paths in this world, the path of materialism, the path of spirituality. Path of materialism means increasing our control over others, increasing control over nature, control over other living entities, control over the wealth, control over the land. Basically, one wishes to gain as much control as possible, keep everybody under one's custody. Like for example, the British people in those days were colonizing different countries and they were usurping the lands. Of course, what they would do is enter a country, take over the country, rule of the country, knock down the king. Then after that steal all the wealth of the country, like gold, silver, diamond and everything. And take the men as slaves, exploit the women, and also engage them in labor work. So this they have been doing, going to different parts of the world. They did in India also for a couple of centuries, they did that. And you get an idea when a country goes around trying to take the power, take charge everywhere. That type of influencing the other people of the world, the tendency is there in a conditioned soul, and Hiranyakashipu exhibited it in big proportion. He actually wasn't a small-time man, that he wanted control over a small country. He wanted control over all the three worlds, upper, middle and lower planetary systems. He thought that he can be the king of the universe. Of course, he can't replace Brahma. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, he cannot touch. So below them, he thought that I can take control of this 14 planetary systems. Everyone and everything will be under my control. Everybody will be at my beck and call. In this way, the wetting agent, drying agent, heating agent like Agni, Varuna, Vayu, he told them all to submit resignation and told them, all of you get retired now only and go home. They asked, sir, but what are we supposed to do without doing our job? Otherwise, how will the control be taken care in the world? He said, everything I will do it single-handedly. What are we supposed to do? You just clap hands, he said. That's all. हम करेंगे, आप ताली बजाएंगे, बस. So, in this way, the devatas were trembling in front of him. He took charge of everything, even the snakes and all the other creatures also, Rakshasas, Yakshas, everybody. This kind of powerful personality, you would have never seen in the modern times, contemporary times. There have been powerful people like Hitler, killed some 10, 11 million Jews. After that he committed suicide and died himself. So, of course he is a great killer, big killer. But having control, even if somebody has, but how long can they have control? Hiranyakashipu was controlling the world like that for a short while. After that, Radheshyam came and tore him to pieces. That's what Prahlad said. My dear Lord, when you came out of the pillar, you picked up such a powerful, mighty asura and put him on your lap, and in front of my eyes I saw you ripping him apart. So because you are so mighty and so powerful as Kala, I better salute you and surrender to you rather than surrender to my father who was defeated by you. Like that he said. That's intelligence. Somebody was reading a book called Hitler. So Prabhupada saw that. And he said, why are you reading on Hitler? You should read a book which talks about the killer of Hitler. He said. And that fellow was surprised. Really? Who is more powerful than Hitler? Prabhupada said, Krishna. And Krishna has time. Mrityu sarva haraschaham. In the form of death, Krishna takes away everything. Even the atheistic fellows who are yelling and shouting against God, you will see every moment they are losing their lives. When the sun is rising, sun is setting, one day is cut from their lifespan. They will yell and shout for a while, suddenly you will find them dropping dead in the ground, their body will be taken to the graveyard to be buried or burned. Where is their guts? You cannot go on for a long time. In this way, the world has seen many atrocious fellows like Hiranyakashipu who trouble all the living entities. Actually, the living entities are not supposed to be under the control of an asura like him. They are supposed to be under the loving control of the Supreme Lord. The whole world is created by Krishna with all amenities and facilities and provisions for his own children, Krishna's part and parcel living entities, to take those things for the food, clothing, shelter, everything, and then live a peaceful life, executing Krishna consciousness, purify the heart and go back to God. That's the purpose for which this world is created. But just like, say, once upon a time there was a bus where all the people are peacefully sitting. So the driver came in and was about to start the bus, but then suddenly one terrorist entered the bus with a pistol and told everybody, remove your purses. Everybody, whatever possessions you have to give it. If anybody makes noise, you will be shot. Everybody started weeping, crying. Everybody got frightened. He said, shh, nobody should make noise, just give your things. So now, of course, the police suddenly appeared there on the scene. They want to catch the terrorist, but the terrorist is saying, if you catch me, I will shoot somebody. So you will have a life loss. So now the police has a difficulty how to catch this fellow without any life loss. Correct? So these kind of fellows are trouble creators in the society. Sometimes they put bomb blasts in train where crowded people are going. Already there is so much heavy crowd. You put a bomb blast there. So these are nuisance creating living entities who are having that asuric mentality, demoniac mindset. Kshayaya jagato ahita, Krishna says. So actually these living entities not only not align with the Lord, they also want to act independent of the Lord. They also want to trouble other living entities. On one hand, they don't follow the Lord's laws. On the other hand, they also want to trouble the other living entities. Then the Lord says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. Lord comes here to stop the living entities' nefarious activities. And also let the other living entities peacefully execute their dharmic duties and go back to God. That's why Lord came as Narsimha. So while talking about this, Prabhupada says here, there are so many living entities mentioned here, like Yakshas, Rakshasas and Uragas and Garudas, and many names are given here. In the scriptures you find this type of names in many places. Like there is one verse in the Vishnu Sahasranama. Yo Sachandra Kanakshatra Disho Bhur Mahodadihi Vasudevasya Vidyena Vidridani Mahatmanah Sasurasura Gandharva Sayaksho Ragarakshasam Jagat Vashe Vartatedam Krishnasya Sacharacharam. This whole Chara Achara means the moving and non-moving beings in this world are controlled by Krishna. And who are they? He is saying Sasurasura, there is Sura and Asura. Gandharva, Yaksha, Uraga, Rakshasa, all those names he is taking. Yeah. So, which means these are all beings existing in different planetary systems, in different places. So here Prabhupada is bringing up the point that modern people think that there is no life on other planets. So I will show you something.
scientific proof of a planet outside our solar system. Today, thanks to advances in technology and scientific research, we've discovered over 5,300 exoplanets, alien worlds that are out there waiting to be explored. At first, these discoveries mostly involved large gas giants, but as our capabilities have expanded, we've started to uncover smaller, Earth-like exoplanets. Scientists have already found more than 50 exoplanets with masses similar to Earth, and over 800 worlds with radius less than 1/2 times that of Earth. We don't know of many such planets orbiting in the habitable zone of their parent stars, where the conditions are just right to support life. But that's already...
Is he correct now? So they have found 50 planets which are habitable, and they have seen the living conditions very favorable for living forms. So this is the...
Starting to change. This planet has an atmosphere, Pluto, and the Sun is a 667 kilograms on Earth, would weigh as much as 120. Cannot form on such a world. We've already seen examples of remarkable life adaptability on Earth.
So like this, they are talking about the 50 planets which are more habitable than Earth. They have found out recently. This is a very, very recent video it is. See, here is a research paper, Search of Life's Origins as well as Progress and Future Directions in Planetary Biology and Chemical Evolution. So, see, search of life outside the solar system. Is it big enough? Okay. See, now how to determine life while discussing, they are saying, they have found out, they are coming up with new technologies to find out how to detect the life on other planets. See, goal to understand the nature and distribution of life in the universe, all over the universe. So what they are saying, till now we didn't even have the technology to detect life. What to speak of, identifying the life. The underlying scientific goal in searching for life beyond solar system is the same as the goal of Viking biology, experiments on Mars. Because in Mars they have found some living forms. They have found out through this thing. So there are compelling reasons to look for evidence of the origin of life on Mars. How that life came in Mars, they want to find out now. Because life has come on Earth already, we are seeing. So in this way, if you go ahead, see, they are saying the approaches to detection of life outside the solar system. What are approach they are taking, they have explained. What is the planet? They said exoplanet, exoplanet, which means outside the Earth, the other planets. See here, programs to search for other planets have been endorsed repeatedly. These endorsements of astrophysics and planetary science are concurred by scientists. Okay. So it should be noted that the desire of the exobiologist examines. So now they are going to give the list of ways they have already adopted now recently. Find out. See here, to determine the frequency and morphology of nearby planetary systems, they will begin with that. First objective, and then determine the frequency of occurrence of conditions suitable to the origin of life. That's the second step. See, they are saying here, to appreciate the intrinsic difficulty of this task, they are saying here, Titan presents far bigger and brighter target than a distant Earth-like planet, and one can be observed without confusion. So they are trying to take all the possible planets which are nearest to the Earth, because farther planets are even more very, very far away. And then to search for presumptive evidence of life in other planetary systems. See here. They are comparing Earth and Mars here, you see. Although the overabundance of molecular oxygen in Earth's atmosphere and its coexistence with methane is an example drawn from Earth, That correlates with life as we know. Life as we do not know. See, this is the point. Life as we do not know, it is likely to be no less surprising than soil chemistry of Mars. So one of the points, and I'll show you another article. Earlier they had a notion that life can only exist in certain physical chemical conditions. For example, in Arctica, Antarctica, they had determined that there cannot be any living forms. But when the ice was broken, they found some living forms inside ice also. Similarly, there is one article called as, I'll just show you that, and there is another article also. Called fire bacteria. There is an article. It appeared in one of the science magazines. I don't have it here. So there are bacteria inside fire also, which they thought at one time inside fire no living beings can exist. But this bacteria has a body which can exist inside fire also. So then further they are to search for evidence of extraterrestrial technology. First of all, you have to find the living forms. Then you have to find out what is the technology. Now they are saying their forms may not be similar to ours. They may be having much different forms. Just like our Shastras say, the Devatas actually can change their form at will. Like we even see Shurpanaka change their form, correct, no? Who else changed the form? Who? Indra changes his form, correct, no? They can change their form at will. They can disappear in one place, they appear in another place. And their forms are having competencies which are much different from humans. For example, they stand above the ground, they don't touch the ground, they don't blink the eyes, their shadow doesn't fall on the ground. Many characteristics are different. They chant mantras, and through the subtle mantras, they are able to accomplish things. Like you see Devatas, they will get a sword and give it. Correct, huh? Isn't it? We wonder how that's possible. So therefore, you have to see people with siddhis on earth. Like there have been people walking on water, yogis and all. So you have some idea of how the Ashtasiddhis work, even on earth. Then naturally you can extrapolate it to higher planets also. So there is a big research going on. Then there is an indirect detection, direct detection. So much of crores of rupees are being spent on this to understand the. See, here is the article. Are we alone? There is an article. In this world, are we alone, or somebody else also is existing? So here I'll just show you. See, here one scientist is saying, we don't have a universally accepted definition of life itself. So how can we find life? You understand, huh? They are still finding out what life is because they don't know the difference between Jada and Chetan. That's where they have to begin first. I had one section of this I want to show you. See here what she is saying, this is the MIT astronomer. She is saying here, the genius fellow and leader in the scientific race to find another Earth in the near future. So designs are already underway for the next generation planet finder to be sent aloft in the 2030s to 2040s, where living forms can be found. So MIT physics professor Sarah Seeger looks for possible chemical combinations that could signal the presence of alien life. So she, along with the biochemistry colleagues, they first focused on 6 main elements associated with life on Earth. So carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur and oxygen. See, we are going to have so few planets, we have to get lucky, and I don't want to miss anything to say. And then, so here, one very important point is made here. There's one nice section was there, yeah. Here, another point they have mentioned here, you see. See, this is one of the questions we get from the public often. If there are aliens, how are we going to recognize them if they are really weird? One Goldman is saying, how do we find that we would consider them to be weird life? And how do we make sure not to be tricked by strange dead planets that look alive, mirages in the desert? Life on planets around the stars, other stars also might be hidden in a subsurface ocean encased in ice. Like for example, when they looked at the Venus, it appeared very, very foggy. So initially they said it is covered by fog, it must be frozen planet, they said. Another scientist said it is not frozen, it must be boiling oils which are leading to the fog-like smoke around the planet. Now just see, these two speculations are diametrically opposite. Correct, no? One fellow is saying it's it's frozen, which is lowest temperature possible. Another fellow is saying it is boiling oils. So much diametrically opposite speculations they can come up with. Like similarly they say Mars, one side of the Mars is rotating like this around the sun. So one side is always frozen, another side is always hot. So in this way the researchers are still in that level. Some exomoons also might be habitable worlds, as in the film Avatar, but even proposed future instruments are unlikely to have sufficient power to detect atmospheres of moons around giant exoplanets, they are saying. That means he is saying even the instruments are not able to, even future instruments, not even current instruments, they don't have sufficient power to detect atmosphere of the moons around giant exoplanets, they are saying. So the habitable zone is a good start, which means instead of chasing after any planet, they are identifying some 50 planets they identified where conditions are very similar to Earth. So they are taking them as the primary target now, hoping that they can find living forms, like they found in Mars symptoms of living forms. So the habitable zone is a good start, a way to zero in on signs of life made familiar. So what are the difficulties that will come here below? See here, the question has fueled more than 70 years of debate, but boils down to a simple observation. Our Milky Way galaxy has plenty of stars, plenty of planets, and plenty of time to develop intelligent life forms, some of whom might well have had billions of years to develop interstellar travel. So, see here they are saying, vast amount of energy would be needed just to get us to our nearest neighbor star, Proxima Centauri, she said. It would just be incredibly expensive and require a lot of resources even to go to the nearest star. And once we or some other civilization reached such a distant destination, she said, another problem would be perpetuating the traveler's existence into future generation. Experts offer many reasons why somebody or something might be out there, yet beyond our detection. On the other hand, the ultra-cautious might remind us that while a lifeless cosmos seems unlikely, we have exactly zero information one way or the other. Our chances of finding some life and are hard at work on the telescope and instruments that could make that future party starting epiphany a reality, which means there are multiple parameters here. You need instruments which are highly precise and to detect. Like nowadays, the old recordings can be made more fine-tuned now, you know that? You can hear them more loudly. In case you had a lower volume, now we can make the volume more louder now. In the same manner, they are coming up with more precise instruments to detect. Plus, travel, interplanetary travel is very costly affair and very far away also. Even lifespan may not fit also. One may have to travel very long distances, they are saying. And even after going there, the living forms may be existing. We have our own definition of what living forms are. Man thought that unless there is water, unless there is oxygen and nitrogen, then only living forms can live. But now they are finding many living forms which live even without these things also. Like there is one frog which lives in a rock, you know that? In a mountain, if you break the mountain with a dynamite, some frogs come out of the stone also. That frog actually jumps from the floor to the ceiling. It has elastic legs. I don't know what you call it. In Tamil they call it tere. I have seen it also. It has a leg folded like this. Any of you seen that type of frog? You've seen that? What do you call it in the Marathi? What do you call it? Tamil, tere, no? You know that, yeah. It has a elastic. It jumps from here to the ceiling. It can jump. It's a elastic type of, and it sticks also. Correct, no? It can go there and just stick there like that, and that lives inside a rock. Huh? Similarly, you will find cactus in a desert. How is it able to grow in a desert with no water? Huh? It's able to draw some water from the atmospheric situation. So, one is living forms should not be defined based on our experience. The living conditions should not be defined based on our experience, because our experience is limited. Atmavan maniti jagat, we say, no? Which means, like Prabhupada says, I can't live in fire, so nobody will live in fire. Concluding like that. But then later on scientists found they live in fire, they live in ice, they live in rock, they live in desert. They are living forms like that. What to speak of living forms outside? Inside your body there are millions of jivas. How many of you knew this? Inside your body, how many jivas? Millions. Really? I came to know this when I was studying about this cloning article by His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj. His dialogue with Prabhupada. Actually there are millions of jivas in our body, atmas, but one is called as the predominant atma. Like for example, in a house, a man is living, he is a predominant man, owner of the house, but there are cockroaches living, rats living, isn't it? Insects are living, caterpillars are living, mosquitoes are living in the same house. They don't pay any rent, they just live in the house. He pays the rent, isn't it? Similarly, in your body, you pay the rent by your karma, but many others are clinging onto your body like parasites. They are also living in one cell. If you take the tissue culture they do, no? If you take a piece of flesh and culture the tissue, it expands. There are millions of germs existing in that. That kind of millions of jivas existing like that. So, therefore, what to speak of the universe itself, our body itself is another big universe. The jiva is called as sarvaga. He keeps moving from one position to another. So, there is one book called as Alien Identities. If you read that book, see here what she says here, you will see.
Mars and the asteroid belt in our own solar system. Well, with this discovery, we've made a giant accelerated leap forward in the search for habitable worlds and life on other worlds, potentially speaking. Because with not just one planet, but several, we have room that if we didn't have the habitable zone quite right, or weren't sure quite what we're looking for, we have many chances over. Now, we don't know much about the planets. We know, as we heard earlier, the masses and sizes and their orbits. So for now, we just speculate. And for that, the TRAPPIST-1 system has really captured our imagination, because with this amazing system, we know that there must be many more potentially life-bearing worlds out there just waiting to be found.
Although Spitzer's monumental discovery is one for the history book, its original mission didn't involve searching for exoplanets. It was built to survey the universe using infrared light. The discovery of exoplanets was tasked to another one of NASA's observatories, the Kepler spacecraft. Since launching in 2009, Kepler has scanned over 150,000 stars.
See, they are just trying to photograph the different planets and just get some information. That is the stage in which science is now. Why I am showing you this, first you take a photograph of what is existing. Imagine, for example, somebody has made a skyscraper building. Somebody has made. You go there and take a photo from all angles, different angles. That's the first thing you are doing. And then study what are the materials of which the building is made. And then you find out who is living in that house. Then you find out who is the owner of the building. Right now? And how did that person have the architectural talent to make that building? There are multiple steps ahead. Right now they are just taking photographs. This planet looks like that, that planet looks like this. I think the Mars is having a lot of smoke. It must be from the boiling oceans, or it is a fog around the planet. It's an icy planet, it is a hot planet. Even with so much of advancement, we can get some information, that's all. What to speak of, going to the planets and be able to detect. So when Prabhupada was asked about these questions, he said a very simple example. This reminds me, one time I asked one carpenter to make a cupboard, this kind of a cupboard for the books. So he asked me, how many books you want to keep? I said, these are the books you need to keep. So there were all spiritual books and spiritual literature, bulky books, many books, everything. So for him, he is most concerned about how to fit these books in the cupboard. Get the wood, make a cupboard, polish it and everything, do it, put the books. And then he took me and showed me, Swamiji, now is it all right? I said, yes. He didn't take even one book and open a page to read what it is. Because his talent is used for making the cupboard. And my talent is supposed to read the books. We two are approaching the same cupboard in two different ways. Correct now? I am approaching the cupboard for the books. He is approaching the books for the cupboard. You understand the difference? No? For him, a quantity of books he needs to know so that his cupboard will fit. This is how the materialistic outlook and spiritual outlook. The spiritual outlook looks for the Lord and the living entities, and the living entities who turned away from him, like Hiranyakashipu, for example. And how these living entities are roaming in this world there. We see from that perspective. But scientists are seeing the world from the perspective of, is there one more planet available? Earth is getting overpopulated now. They want to go. If they go there, what do you think they will do there? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Same thing they will do there. So, see, I wrote one article, the recent Chandrayaan thing which happened that time. So I will just share this, you can see this one. See, can man travel to higher planets? Is it big enough or small? Little big, I'll make it. Alright? See, can man travel to higher planets by mechanistic means? Vedas have taught the method of reaching higher planets, you see. The first category, in the Bhagavad Gita it is explained, Krishna says that Traividyamam somapa puta papa yajñerishva svargatim prartayante te punyamasadhya surendra lokam ashtanti divyan divideva bhogan. He is saying that in the 9th chapter he says that if you have done punya you go to the heavens and there divideva bhogan, heavenly delights will be given to you. Nice food, nice life, very healthy body, tenacious body. You can last for a very long time, 1,000 years or 10,000 years or 1 lakh years, 1 million years also. That kind of body you get, handsome body you get. And there are no diseases in the body, there is no old age. There is a birth and death only, that's all. But who death is there, you have to remember that. Yeah. When the period ends, when your punya is over, you come back to the earth, he says. Te tambuktva sargalokam vishalam kshine punye martyalokam vishanti, he says. You come back to the earth. So, by sacrifices you gain virtues, punya, and become eligible to enter higher planets. They come in the category of karmakandis, spiritual workers, who aspire for long life and abundance of materialistic pleasure return. And the second category, they go to heavenly planets without performing sacrifice. Who tried that? Trishanku. Ravana also. He wanted to make a staircase to go to heaven without performing sacrifice. See, now what will happen if you go there without performing sacrifice? It's like, say you become an MD surgeon because you are son of a Karodapati. You gave 1 crore and got one MD degree. Tomorrow you are taking the knife to operate somebody, what will happen? See, you are an MD surgeon, you never went to college, you never read any book. And if you take a knife and scalpel in the hand, you can actually damage people more than doing good for them. You have not gone through that knowledge. In the same manner, one who has not done sacrifice, that purification doesn't come. Even if they go to heaven, they will not be given access, or even if they get somehow or other to the heavenly planet, they will not be given the vision of the planet. Just like, let us imagine, a cow is going to Bharatiya Vidyapit college, and every day she goes inside the compound, eats grass, and sits in the first year classroom backside. And then second year, third year, fourth year. 4 years the cows went and came. Will the cow get a degree? No. The cow has no ability to comprehend what is being taught in the class. Correct, no? So it requires different type of mindset. Similarly, those who have punya, when they go, they will have access to everything. Just like in a company, you have the CEO, then you have the works managers, then you have the HODs, head of the departments, then you have people below like team leads and all. So they give different access to different people. Correct, no? Like team leads will have only some access. Above them the project managers will have more access. And even bigger managers have bigger access. CEO has complete access. Unit head, they have access to everything. So Krishna has unlimited access, and Brahma has some access. Like you may be aware of the past time, once when Brahma came to Dwaraka, so Krishna asked the servant to check which Brahma has come. And Brahma was surprised. He's asking, which Brahma? Is there any Brahma besides me? He asked. So the man went inside and asked Krishna, Brahma is asking like this. Krishna said, call him inside. So when he came in, Krishna gave an amazing, extraordinary experience for him. There were dozens and dozens of Brahmas came from different universes, multiple universes. They all came and bowed down to Krishna. Our Brahma had only 4 heads, and they had 8 heads, and 16 heads, and 32 heads, and 64 heads, and stacks of heads, and huge bodies also. And our Brahma was standing in one corner like a small rat, and they were all like elephants. Huge bodies. And our Brahma was trembling seeing them. One amazing thing is said there. While our Brahma saw all the Brahmas, every Brahma saw only themselves only. They didn't see other Brahmas. Because their access was barred. They could see themselves, they could see Krishna. They could not see anybody else. But our Brahma was given special vision by Krishna to see all the Brahmas coming, offering obeisances with their mukut and everything and then going. Why he gave access to him? To see. So that means Krishna can give access to us and he can increase our access, reduce our access. He says that in Gita. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritah mudhoyam na vijanati loko mam ajam avyayam, he is saying. If I don't want to give access to somebody, I block the access. And if I wish to give access to them, I remove the curtain and show them the truth, he says. So, in the same manner, like 3 gunas for example. Now all of you are devotees here, so you have studied about the 3 gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. If some drunkard is lying in a gutter, he is in tamaguna. Somebody is very angry, passionate, beating up somebody, is in rajaguna. Somebody is in sattva. You are now right now given the vision to see what is sattva, what is rajas, what is tamas. First thing is to get educated. Second thing is to adopt a lifestyle which will transform the education into practical realization. And then you get the vision gradually, which we call a shastra chakshu, we call it. Similarly, those who have done punya, they will find certain activities very joyful. For example, any place you create, certain type of people will come. Say we open a gym and treadmill. So the boys and girls will come who want to keep body fit. You've seen that in treadmill or lifting weights, isn't it? That kind of people will come, those who want to do that, isn't it? You open a temple like this, some pious souls who are eager to take darshan of the Lord, sit and hear the kirtans, hear the lectures, they will come. Or you have a gutter, don't drain the water in the gutter, keep the gutter water for 1 or 2 weeks. Who will come? Mosquitoes will come. For them it's a favorite place, isn't it? Yeah. Or you have even much bigger gutter, pigs will come. They like to be submerged in gutter. So, depending on one's mode, one comes and occupies that place, in that particular place. Similarly, the vision to see, the vision actually is given by the Lord according to one's adhikar. Just like in company or your position gives you bigger access. Similarly, our vision of our ability to see the Svarga and everything depends on how much punya count you are carrying with you. Okay, the first category are people who do yajna and go. Second category of people like Trishanku, Ravana and all, they wanted to go without doing again. Third category of personalities, like Hiranyakashipu, who gained entry to heavenly planets by performing severe austerities, defeating Indra and demigods, took over their throne and became Trilokadipati, master of three worlds for some period of time. See, I have put it in italics. Because who is the person who controls nature for all time? Krishna. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Although Lord Krishna says in 9.10, he is the controller of material nature, Hiranyakashipu also, by dint of his austerities, became a controller of material nature. By forcing nature to give rains, give fruits, and he even took over departments of Agni Varna, which I read just now. But all this drama he could do for a short while by power of his austerities, and eventually was destroyed by Mahadaparad to Prahalad. Then there are fourth category of personalities like Arjuna, who gained entry into heavenly planets, inspired by Krishna, obtained celestial weapons from Indra and Shiva and many other demigods, and became a blessed one. Now the first category are people who do punya and go. Second category are people who have not done punya like Trishanku, but make an effort to go. And they are defeated in their purpose. And third category of people are those who don't perform yajna to please the Supreme Lord, but they perform severe austerities to gain control by materialistic austerities, without surrendering to Supreme Lord. Hiranyakashipu is the third example. Now the fourth category of people, they don't do yajna, they may not do yajna, they may not do any austerities independent of Krishna, but they are aligned with Krishna, they are bhaktas. And if Krishna decides to send them to heaven, he just has to make one call. Indra, my devotee is coming there. Take him. Give him your celestial weapons. That's all. And a devotee is sent there. Immediately. Inspired by Krishna. Obtained celestial weapons from Indra. Pashupatastra he got from Shiva. Correct, no? So there are innumerable evidences of earthly beings going to heavenly planets. Like Muchukunda Raja, why he was given entry to heavenly planets? Because he was going to assist Devatas to drive out the Asuras. Correct, no? Similarly, we hear about Katvanga Raja also. Devatas allowed him entry because he went to not trouble the Devatas but to assist the Devatas. Yayati, Nahusha and all those people. Although ascending to higher planets is difficult for a common man, it is not an impossible task. In the light of the above, what do we conclude about Chandrayaan-3 landing on moon? You see, when Columbus discovered America some few hundred years ago, Europeans entered the country and eventually they developed the country materially by increasing the facilities and amenities for better eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Forward march in material progress without much attention to spiritual emancipation has been the trend of all living entities in the conditioned state. Or state of mind. You understand this point? That means living entities always think how to make material improvement in this world. Better eating, better sleeping, better mating and better defending. And nothing to do with God. They think like that. They don't have any superior goal. Whether they go by seas, ocean to find a country like America, or they go by air and find out the moon planet, the goal is same and nothing more. Unless they have a spiritual outlook of life. So what is the purpose of them looking for another planet with life? Because they are thinking that some other population can be asked to go there. You can move to another place because it's getting overloaded in this planet. They are thinking like that. See, India landing on moon is certainly a great scientific achievement from the point of view of so many thousands of space research scientists involved in the task. For the first time, Indians with their scientific research in space have been able to put his foot, not yet, put the foot of an unmanned space vehicle on moon. You know the difference? Unmanned vehicle means there is nobody in that vehicle. They just send a vehicle to either photograph the planets or to land in the planet. There is no living being who has gone there. On moon, and certainly it is an extraordinary feat to achieve from the point of view of regular inventions in science made as appliances for our daily use. Soon there may be possibility of people visiting moon, like visiting to Shimla or Ooty or Nainital and other hill stations. But people may even consider going to moon for honeymoon. After a few years of advancement in space research, along with necessary technology to transport people from Earth to moon. Sounds thrilling, isn't it? So many of the scientists who sent Chandrayaan-3 are also devotees of God, and they can't tell you their story, how ardently they pray to Balaji to make this event happen. Actual ISKCON Connect Chandrayaan 3 is Sri Ram Prabhu, whose team designed 11 chipsets in 2005 which were used in Chandrayaan 3. He's a ISKCON devotee, that fellow. And when Jiva fervently prays the Supreme Lord to attain a particular goal, then Krishna says, Ye tamaham papadite. Okay. Sometimes Krishna allows someone to do some very difficult thing. He bestows it based on the proportion of endeavor that Jiva has put, and the prayer merits, efforts put, and the prayer merits earned, based on that. And the intensity of desire, 3 things. If the desire is intense, and efforts are also put, not just the intensity of desire, but also efforts also. And then the prayer merits earned. Based on these things, one may be awarded. So before we start transporting hundreds and thousands of people from the earth, let us prepare our mind first by asking a question. Whether are we ready? By the type of lifestyle we lead based on industrial revolution, consumer-based culture, we have spoiled the environment of earth by polluting air, water, food, city environment, all these things. So, few people have utilized the resources of earth to genuinely awaken love for God. So there I had quoted this, scientists discover planets more habitable than earth. You see? Now say, suppose man is able to live on moon by transporting crores of people from earth to moon. Will he mess up that planet also, or will he preserve the pure environment provided by God? ChatGPT or Bard, if you see, I heard, refuses to write foul language remarks now. You know that? ChatGPT will not give you, if you want to write any foul language to your friend, because of its initial design. That's great. In the long run, whether it will remain so, after it goes to the hands of other type of people, we don't know. Correct, no? How many of you know that ChatGPT refuses to give foul language? You know that? Because the initial designers have designed it like that. But some other crooked fellow like Hiranyakashipu may come later. He may change it also. Correct, no? Similarly, let us say God gave us one more nice unspoiled planet like moon or many other planets to live. Will we utilize that resource properly? Are we qualified for that now or not? What do you think? How many of you feel we are not qualified yet to use another planet properly? Okay, how many of you feel that now all the human beings on earth are perfect gentlemen, they are qualified to receive one more gift planet from God because population is too much? Anybody? Yeah. That is possible only if we chant Hare Krishna, purify our heart of base mentalities and learn the art of loving God and loving all. Otherwise, what we did to the earth, the very same thing will repeat in another planet also. So that is the point I took like this. This is the first article I wrote. Then one more I had written. Second article, where what I had written there was about the moon planet mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Chandra mentioned it much, much more farther than the planet that the distance that these people are talking about. So, if you read our Sadaputa Prabhu and people like our Michael Cremo, what they have mentioned is, say for example, the India country versus Indian map, is it the same? For example, ant is moving from Maharashtra to Tamil Nadu in the map. Is it same as you moving from Pune to Tamil Nadu? It's a difference between earth and sky. Similarly, what they have talked about is the Chandra, what they are talking as Chandra, the distances that scientists have mentioned, that they are calling it moon. But what the Shastras talk about is pretty farther than that, if you see. Therefore, and also the Shastras give explanation about very highly evolved living forms of Devatas in many other planets also, like I read in the purport here. But many of us have a notion, when we go to the planetariums and all, we can see through the telescope so many things, because the way some scientists present you is as if the whole universe is in their grip. They speak like that. But this lady was very honest, you saw that, right? I showed the video. What she is saying, first of all, our idea of living forms is very limited. Nowadays, even in African safari, they are coming up with new creatures. They are excavating, finding out. So many. Like there is one ruby throat hummingbird. You can put in Google search. Ruby throat hummingbird. You'll be shocked what they say about it. I'll show you. See, this is the one. This ruby throat hummingbird. What is so special about this? See what they are saying here. You can see that. What is special? Why is it rare? Here it's written, you can see. See, ruby throat hummingbirds are common. Okay. See here, the ruby-throated hummingbird beats its wings how much in a second? 53 times in a second. The extremely short legs of ruby-throated hummingbird prevent it from walking or hopping. Okay. So here it is not given, you should see the weight of this bird. So scientists have become very surprised about how this lightweight creature is so powerful. If you ask, here he says here, see, you can fly up to 30 miles per hour forward and 60 miles per hour while diving. Where is it given? It's only 3 grams. It's given here? 3 gram weight. How much weight? 3 grams. This is shock to the scientists. Have you seen a bird with 3 gram weight? See, they can beat the wings more than 50 times per second. See, they can fly straight across Gulf of Mexico in a single flight during their seasonal migration. Their feet is okay. So it's a 3 gram bird. That was. So now they are finding this kind of new findings keep coming. But Shastra's Padma Purana says there are 8.4 million species. How they are divided, Jalaja, Navalakshani, Savaralakshmishati, rigidly fixed. It's not that new things are coming, actually these things are existing, but scientists are discovering or uncovering or unfolding it. They are finding, even on earth, if you ask, for example, see here. See, the first time gorilla was discovered by European was in 1860s by Paul, he's saying, zoologist and anthropologist. Saw a live gorilla during his travels through Western Equatorial Africa in 1856 to 1859. That means gorilla, it's not that gorilla existed only now, but he discovered it. Discovered means he found it only in 1860, not much before. Wow. Such a big creature like gorilla, I don't know how many more smaller creatures they would have missed. Can see that. So therefore you will see that many, even on earth there is so much research has to be done. And what to speak of other planets, that lady was honest. She said, first of all, we have our own idea of what a living form should be. See, imagine if somebody tells you that there is a bird which is 3 gram, will you believe? So therefore one scientist said, there is a bird which is unbelievable that it can exist, but it exists. That's how it was first presented when ruby-throat hummingbird came. Came means they found out that is existing. So there is one song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur who says, Hey Keshava, Tu Jagatta Vichitra, like that one, there is one song, he says, Oh Lord Keshava, oh Lord Krishna, your world you have created is very amazing. Why is it amazing? You all know dolphins, for example. When dolphins want to sleep, they close one eye and with the other eye they keep it open to save themselves from enemies. Then afterwards they sleep with this eye and with this eye they are watching, taking care of themselves. Any of you can sleep like that? You sleep with one eye, another eye. There is another fish which has got a torch over his head. When he is moving in the water, it throws light long distance. Very amazing. Similarly, a bird goes out of the nest far, far away to bring some food, isn't it? Now, how does the bird find the house? Bird doesn't have a GPS. How does he find? Anybody knows? How? Say, for example, a bird went from Pune to Mumbai to fetch some food. Of course, I don't think Mumbai will get it. He went to some place, some village. He fetched some food. Now he wants to come back to his nest. Who will give him GPS to come? Because the bird in the head has an inbuilt map of his location. Even you can try this, catch one rat from this campus and leave the rat in market yard and come, again it will come back here. Because the rats, cats, birds, they have got a map in their head. Lord has given them that ability to find out their living place. It's very amazing. So that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says very amazing creatures. We had this honeybees, how they make honeycomb, isn't it? It's extraordinary. Even humans, for them to make such a delicate thing is very difficult. Like spider makes that spider's web, or the silkworm makes long threads, such powerful things. So one creature is extraordinary in this world, the Lord's creation. And there are many existing on earth we do not know, what to speak of existing on other planets. But the Vedas are highly evolved. They talk about bigger creatures and existing faraway planets, like Rakshasas and Yakshas and Uragas and Vidyadharas and Kinnaras and Charanas, Apsaras, Gandharvas. They all are existing in different planets. If you go to the 5th canto, even the distances are given. In which level, who is existing? Humans are existing on this plane. In a higher plane, where are the Gandharvas existing? Pishachas, Bhutas, where are they existing? Uragas are below the lower planetary systems. And then if you go to the higher planets, Bhuloka, Bhuvaloka, Swarloka, Maharloka. So we are in Bhu now. So Bhuvaloka and Swarloka, they are all heavenly planets where we talked about, Indra and all the other devatas. They are planets of enjoyment. But higher than that, if you go, Maharloka, Janaloka, there are many tapasvis are living. Austere sages are living, and people are more serious about spiritual life. And then when you go to the Satyaloka, Brahma himself lives there with very highly elevated rishis. And then they all don't die also. At the time of cosmic annihilation, they go back to Godhead. And along with, even the Pralaya does not touch Maharlok, Tapalok. Only up to Janalok, only the Pralaya waters go. So they are very exalted beings there. So, lot of, very, very advanced details are available in the Srimad Bhagavatam. If you read. So one thing you will see, like if you ask when did they find out that plants have life? I think it is 1903. When did scientists discover that plants have life? You will see. See, in 1901, Jagdish Chandra Bose proved that plants are life forms, similar to other life forms. Bose experiment demonstrated plants have a life cycle, a reproductive system, and are aware of their surroundings. So before the scientists were thinking that plants have no life, which means even just a century ago only they came to know. But the Vedas are talking about plants having life millions and millions of years ago. There is always talk about chara and achara, moving livings and non-moving living. Which are the non-moving living things? Plants, plants and trees. They are non-moving living beings. Vedas talk about non-moving living beings, but scientists thought if they are non-moving, they are no life. They're moving, you have life. That's their estimation. Very, very superficial. But when, in the same manner, somebody may ask, why should I believe in the Vedas that living forms are existing on other planets? We will figure out, we'll go to the laboratory or the, planetarium and we will figure out living forms on other planets. Oh, that lady is saying that even whether future instruments will be sufficient to reach to all these planets and get information, we can't say now. Neither she is saying. That means if you have seen this, they are all very far, far away, planets also. If you see this, see the distances. This is 1 meter, 10 meters, 100 meters. From 10,000 kilometers you can see the earth like this. 1 million kilometers. Now you see the galaxy, see? 100,000 light years. Still you cannot see the full Brahmanda. Now it's going to micro level, going into the eye. See the retina. See, more minute you go, still order is there. See the designs. Design, you go lower and lower and lower, still all the designs. Even at that level, see the helix. In those days only we knew only picometer. Now below picometer, femtometers have come. 10 femtometers. That's all. So, isn't it? That macro and micro level. So, at the most they can make some observation. And imagine going to reaching all these different planets and finding out more details. And even if some equipment comes to reach other planets, we also will need the adhikar to go to those planets and access also, just like I was telling you. If you join a company as a GET, you will only be given GET access. You won't be having the unit heads access. Like for example, if I open my website, immediately see here for example, I am just helping you understand this point. If you open this, immediately you see brahmacharya training comes here. All these things, because I have more access. If somebody else opens this website, you won't get this. Correct, no? You will only start from here, newcomers. You will not see this at all. See? Here I have all this one, here to segregate material. Correct, no? Because I am given access. Similarly, all of us, whatever access is given to only that much you can see. So, what Bhagavatam says is, Yes, you can have curiosity to know what is existing in this world, but if that curiosity makes you get stuck in this world, not go beyond, like scientists are researching, the more you research, the more you get caught up in matter. You don't know the meaning of life, purpose of life. The purpose of life is clearly explained in scriptures, that we are jivas who are different from matter, but we are trapped in matter. Just like a bird is trapped in a cage, we are trapped in this body. To liberate the spirit from matter is the first goal of life. And a higher goal is to recognize that I am not the Supreme Spirit, I am a subordinate spirit. There is a Supreme Lord who is Supreme Spirit. That is the second goal. Third goal is to know that, Priya, Atmeshwara, Suhrit, three things. Lord is very dear to the Jiva, and the Lord is master of Jiva, and the Lord is a well-wisher of Jiva. These three things Prahlad says. Yada atagi purushasyeha Vishnu padopasarpanam yadesha sarva bhutanam Priya Atmeshwara Suhrit is saying. Lord Krishna is very dear to the Jiva, and he is also well-wisher of the Jiva, and he is master of Jiva. So therefore, for me to serve him is very natural. Like that he says to his friends. So to arrive at this point is the third level of understanding of meaning and purpose of life. And to enter into the five rasas with the Lord, that's ultimate. At least first one should know I am not matter, I am spirit. Unfortunately, in the modern day schools and colleges, there is no education about matter, spirit. And why some students are committing suicide? Because they think they are the body. If I didn't succeed in academics, then break down your body. Because they don't know what is matter, what is spirit. So, the beauty of the Srimad Bhagavatam is it gives lot of scientific truths about many things in the universe existing. It doesn't stop with that. It says this universe is very complicated, but this universe, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartinorjana Mamapetitu Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidite. From the topmost Brahma's planet down to the Patal Loka, it's all filled with various living entities. And all of them undergo birth and death. But those who come back to me will never undergo birth and death. So what is the ultimate goal? Come back to Krishna. So they give a very clear conclusion with no ambiguity. Not that you research all your life and you don't know after your death what happens, where are you going. So children are graduating from college, but they are graduating into ignorance because they have no meaning of life, purpose of life, goal of life, values in life, character in life. Just eat, sleep and mate and defend. So when we are studying about Hiranyakashipu's mindset, as much as there is a talk about life on other planets, there is also talk about Hiranyakashipu's mindset, which is the wrong mindset, which is Bhogavritti. So therefore I took that when I wrote that article. I said that even if you go to another planet, what are you going to do is very important. Correct, no? Imagine if ISKCON devotees get one more temple in Pune now. Now we have Kunjabihari. Now we have Vrindavan Chandra also. Now one more temple is going to come in Vishal Nagar now. But wherever they go, what they will do? Chant Hare Krishna. And start the morning program. They will bring Radha Krishna, Gaur-Nitai, worship the Lord, distribute the books, perform dramas, perform kirtan, distribute prasad. So when I saw this kind of Prabhupada's ISKCON movement in the early days, I thought that this is a wonderful thing, because the more these fellows expand, the more they will do good to the world. Correct, no? Wherever they go, they will erect a temple, they will bring the Lordship, they will distribute prasad, Harinam, Sankirtan, teaching Bhagavad Gita. So imagine one more planet if Krishna gives us, what we will do there. Start one more ISKCON temple there also. Correct, no? So Prabhupada says, our movement is a movement where we prepare people, make them ready to go back to Godhead. And modern day education is preparing you to get stuck in the material world. It doesn't give you any clue about meaning of life, purpose of life. One should know the difference. Materialistic path and spiritual path. So what is the solution for us? Okay, even though you have to do your college education and earn a degree, do a job, take out time for spirituality and understand Srimad Bhagavatam. And come to the ultimate goal of life and don't get stuck in material research alone. That's the point. Therefore, Swarup Damodar Prabhu in those days became Swarup Damodar Maharaj. Dr. T.D. Singh, he studied in the University of Illinois in America. He was a doctorate. But then he was very impressed with the way Prabhupada presented the philosophy. So he When he got the correct understanding of what is life, what is death, what is matter, what is spirit, the meaning of life, goal of life. So he dedicated his life and became a sannyasi in ISKCON. Sri Prabhupada ki Gaur Bhakta.